Hey guys, welcome to another video on the Inside Spurs show. Happy Wednesday afternoon. I did just check. You saw me look down. I did just check the time just to make sure I'm not looking like an idiot. Happy Wednesday afternoon. So whatever you're up to today, hope you enjoy it. Stay out of the crap weather. And let's talk a little bit about Spurs and kind of January, to be honest. Because after obviously what happened Monday night, we now have a situation, is what I'm going to sum it up as, at centre-half. So we've got updates around Spurs and their interest into a certain left-sided centre-back, as well as still maintaining an interest in another one. Let's preface this out first and foremost, okay? Obviously, look, I think it was Paul O'Keefe and I think it was Dan Kilpatrick, I think, put out that we're basically waiting either today or tomorrow for a Mickey van der Ven scan because they're waiting for the swelling and things like that to go down. And when there's a swelling, normally not a good thing. So we might be in a situation. Now, I talked about in another video that I released that I said we should look at this with a glass half full. The glass half full attitude should be, look, we actually have centre-backs in our youth team. Or, well, technically, yes, but one that we signed as well in the summer. And we need to see if they're any good. You know, I think, we were never going to win. I was never on the idea that we'll win the title, but I was always aiming for top four. And we need to see what we have. We've not been brilliant at bringing through the youngsters through the setups. And I'd like to see what we have in Ashley Phillips, He's basically stopped playing with the youth team. He's coming and joined the first team because I think we're going to probably be seeing him this weekend, at least on the bench. But I hope that we see him start. Nothing against Emerson. I just hope that we see what he has because after this international break, we've still got some pretty massive teams coming up, and we need to kind of get a centre half up and running to a degree to basically still allow us to. I mean, look, I'm going to be frank. Defend corners and defend set pieces because I don't see Emerson Royale taking on centre halves at set pieces, So let's talk. So this came from Dan Kilpatrick in the Standard, who put out that Spurs will prioritise a left-sided centre half in January, with Bournemouth's Lloyd Kelly expected to be a target as they wait to discover the extent of the Van der Ven injury. So again, Van der Ven injury, we're finding out today or tomorrow from the scan. On Lloyd Kelly, look, we've talked about Lloyd Kelly before and the fact that he does have a contract that expires next summer. I'm not a medical professional. I know it shocks you. I'm not a medical professional. But in the case that, Van der Ven might be gone 2 months, 3 months, actually that might be quite a long runway for a Lloyd Kelly to kind of come in and, actually cement that place as his own. And maybe Van der Ven then has to work to get back in there. It's not to say that I think he's better than Van der Ven, but at the same time, you don't drop someone that's in form. Right? I think as well, let's look at it from the Tottenham board angle. He's going to be fairly cheap. He's not going to be cheap. He's not going to be like 5 million. But he's going to be a lot cheaper than the other option I'm going to talk about. So that already, tick in the box. Prem proven, left-sided centre-back, left-footed, pretty athletic. Tick, 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 tick. All across the board there. English, I guess, helps as well, to be fair, But I think that's where Spurs go at centre-half. It's not to say we don't get Caceres as well from CF America. I'm just saying I think that's where Spurs go. Because they're going to look at it and go, we need to get a centre-half in January, okay? And that's the fact that we are prioritising left centre-back. And I think that's where we should be prioritising. Regardless of the Van der Ven injury, I would have said that's where we prioritise it. I think we also need to look at left-back. I think we also need to look at potentially a number 6, depending on the Højbjerg situation. I think definitely in the summer we need to look at that. But, we need to look at potentially a striker, that kind of thing. I think, especially in games like the Chelsea one, I mean, this might come around when Valise gets a bit more time and to sort of settle and develop. But a target man probably would have been really nice in that game. Win free kicks, put the ball into him, win free kicks, get us higher up the pitch. And not only that, you saw what we did against Chelsea in terms of set pieces. Dyer was dominant. Bentancur was winning headers. Valise, you could have thrown in there, you never know. We could have had a few more chances at delivering in a set piece. So I expect left centre back to be the way we go anyway, and I do think Lloyd Kelly is where we go as well. I just think it makes a bit too much sense, if you know what I mean. Like, everything sort of works out the way we'd want it to there. And I said, you know, about how Spurs have been poor at rotating. I think next season I expect us to get top 7. So that requires European football. That sort of gives European football, sorry, is probably what I should say. In that regard, then, you need to have options, because we can't expect Van der Ven and Romero to play 60 games a season. We should have people coming in and playing 15 and 20 games a season, you know, like Carabaos, your FA Cups, your European competitions, you know, depending on how you want to look at that, and kind of saying, look, well, you know, Romero, look, he misses time with suspension. He also has injuries, you know, and things like that. Van der Ven, well, look, he's had a pretty nasty injury, you know. Is that something that potentially goes forward that, you know, sometimes a hamstring goes? That's why I think 2 solid guys that can play in behind those 2, as you know, if you consider them 2 the starters, 2 guys are behind. I think you look at us getting 1 in from January, and I think you're looking at 1 in the summer, depending on what Phillips does. Because if Phillips works out and what we see from him in now between here and January, maybe we don't need a centre half in the summer, because maybe we like him and maybe we like Dorrington and go, that is plenty. That's plenty. We need to work on other areas now. Potentially. Let's talk about the other option. That's Mark Guehi. I think that these 2 are the main 2 left centre-back options that we've been linked to. You know, Mark Guehi has been someone we linked to for a long time. So from, again, Dan Kilpatrick, he's been busy. He's been busy this morning. He put out that Spurs are long-term admirers of Mark Guehi, but Crystal Palace are likely to sell halfway through the season. I'm not surprised by that. You know, he is a quite crucial part to the Crystal Palace team and setup. He'd cost a minor fortune in this window if we were to go for him, you know. Yes, obviously he'd offer us a lot and improve us still immensely. But I think they go the Lloyd Kelly route, because I think even if you were to say, let's get Mark Guehi in the summer, he's still going to cost you 40, 50 million, where you can get Lloyd Kelly for, let's say, 15 million in January. You know, pay a little bit over the odds of what you would normally expect a guy running out 6 months to the end of his deal. You might go, let's get him for 15 million. We've got our guy for 6 months, with coaching, with time in the setup, with a good run of games in the team. He might be the exact same level as a Mark Guehi, if maybe even better. You never know. So that way, you'd save 30 or 40 million that you go, right, we need to go and get another left back. That's sorted. We'll sort that out with that money. We also need to look at a winger, a number 6, a striker, whatever it is. I think with good coaching, you save yourself some money there. But not only that, you actually develop the rest of the team. And I've always said, don't make one big signing when we need so many holes filled. We need a left back. We need another centre half. We might need another right back, depending on what happens with Emerson Royale. And does he stay? Does he go? Because Pedro Porro does seem to be quite a far advance of an Emerson Royale. Does Højbjerg go? Okay, we need another 6 there. What happens with Skip? You know, what happens with Lo Celso? You might need a number 8. You know, what happens at striker? Do we need another striker? Because, you know, Son's getting a little bit on now. Does Veliz kick on? Maybe you don't. Do you need a winger? Because you might move a Brian Hill. You might move a Richarlison. These things all play a massive part. And I think that's why they go the Lloyd Kelly route, personally. But hey, we'll see. Anyway, guys, that's the end of the video. I hope you did enjoy it. Drop a like on the video if you did. Hit me in the comment section below. Mark Guehi in the summer or Lloyd Kelly in January. I want to know your thoughts and feelings. And tell me why. I'm obviously wanting to know why. It's a good opportunity to learn. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Do us a favour, go on. And hit the bell notification for more. But anyway, guys, that's the end of the video. And I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care, guys.